Hearing is the last sense you lose when you die, which means patients who are in an unresponsive state may still be able to hear. Researchers discovered that hearing may persist even in the final stages of life, providing solace to those near death. Using electroencephalography to record brain activity, researchers compared responses to sound among healthy individuals, hospice patients in a conscious state, and the same patients when unresponsive. They found that the brains of some unresponsive patients exhibited responses to auditory stimuli similar to those of healthy, conscious individuals. They also observed that even when patients were hours away from death and unresponsive, their brains responded to these sounds in a manner akin to young, healthy controls. The study suggests that people who are dying may still perceive and possibly find comfort in hearing familiar voices and sounds in their final moments. Researchers had long observed positive reactions in dying patients when hearing the voices of loved ones, and the recent study, which was published in the journal Scientific Reports, proves that hearing is indeed the last sense to fade. While the study provides strong evidence of brain activity in response to sound among the dying, it stops short of confirming whether the unresponsive patients were aware of what they were hearing.
Our cells can make sounds, and each cell has its own unique sound that remains inaudible to the human ear. In 2002, researchers found that Baker's yeast cells oscillate at the nanoscale. They noticed that the cell walls were vibrating at a remarkable rate of 1,000 times per second. These movements, although incredibly fast and subtle when translated into sound, create a high-pitched scream. Researchers believe that this sound comes from tiny machines inside the cells called molecular motors. These motors help move materials within a cell. These motor proteins are attached to the cytoskeleton, which helps keep the cell's shape, and that is linked to the cell membrane. This means that when the motor proteins move, they make the cell membrane vibrate. These subtle vibrations offer a window into how our cells respond to various stimuli, including our thoughts and emotions, and may ultimately broaden our understanding of both cellular function and the impact of psychological states on our bodies. Researchers are now looking into using these vibrations to tell the difference between healthy and cancerous cells. When cells transform into cancerous forms, their internal dynamics change, potentially creating distinct vibrational patterns and sounds. So, one day, a doctor may potentially determine if a cell is malignant by simply listening to the cell's vibrations. Moving molecules inside living cells with the power of sound could be a new way to treat certain diseases.
Déjà vu is the feeling of having already lived through an experience before. Déjà vu means already seen in French. It's a multifaceted phenomenon with several proposed explanations. Some theories suggest it arises from a neurological glitch, causing the brain to mistake the present for the past, or from split-second delays in perception, leading to simultaneous recognition of a single event. Others believe it's linked to the brain's holistic information processing, creating holograms of familiar scenes, or it might stem from memory-based events where a current situation mirrors a past one, but the brain fails to fully retrieve the memory. People with temporal lobe epilepsy often report déjà vu, hinting at its potential neural origins. The Gestalt familiarity hypothesis posits that déjà vu might relate to the structural similarities between a new scene and a previous one. Despite these theories, the exact cause of déjà vu remains elusive and requires further research. The opposite of déjà vu is jamais vu, where something that should be familiar feels completely new or unfamiliar. During a jamais vu experience, a person may not recognize a situation or setting that they logically know to be familiar. It is thought to be linked to neurological or psychological factors, often resulting from fatigue, stress, or certain dissociative disorders, which are characterized by disconnection and lack of continuity between thoughts, memories, surroundings, actions, and identity.